Good morning. I would like to welcome everyone for our final Aniplan conference project. Before we start with the welcoming and all of that, I would like everyone just to stand for the national anthem for a couple of minutes, and then we can kickstart our conference. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Good morning, and welcome to the final conference of the Aniplan project. Aniplan stands for Building Capacities in Integrated Energy Planning in Mediterranean Landscape, which is co-founded by the EU Erasmus program and partner institutions. Today marks the start of the closing activity of this project. I would like to welcome our audience, including students, faculty, and speakers, who have generously accepted to take their time to be with us, and our project partners from Jordan, Egypt, Lebanon, Italy, Portugal, Malta, and Spain. I would like to recognize several esteemed guests: Mr. José Luis Venueza, Head of Section of Economy and Local Development of the EU Mission in Lebanon, and his accompanying delegate; Dr. Arif Soufi and Dr. Amr Halwani from the National Office, Coordinator of the Erasmus Program in Lebanon. I especially would like to welcome Provost of AUB, Dr. Muhammad Hrajli. He actually changed his schedule in the morning to be with us, so I really appreciate that. In addition, we are honored to have with us leaders of two Jordanian universities who are partners in this project. From Princess Sumaya University, President Mashhoul Al-Rifai, and from Petra University, President Marwan Al-Muwalla. I want to welcome and recognize the unwavering support of the Dean of the Faculty of Agriculture and Food Sciences at AUB, Dean Rabia Muhtar, through his advice and participation in this conference. A special thank you goes to Dr. Nisreen Ghaddar as well from the Maroon Saman Faculty of Engineering and Architecture for her support of the project from the inception days. Lastly, I would like to also thank Dr. Anna Laura Palazzo from the University of Roma, Italy, and her team for their leadership of the project. Finally, I would like to recognize the people who actually got this going on the ground. From the AUB Aniplan Wonder Woman team, actually, Petra Smaha, Marwa Darazi, Maya Milham, and Kristal Musa. From the FAF's Dean's Office, Nisreen Naib, Rula Shidia, Daniel Ashi, Wafa Khouri, Rabia Qubaisi, Imad, and Ahmad. And from my department, Nadine Madad and Sandra Youssef, as well as the several departments across AUB, including Procurement, University Communication, Office of Grants and Contracts, and the Campus Protection Office. I especially want to recognize the support of the Department of Landscape and Ecosystem, my home department, under the leadership of Dr. Zrey. On behalf of all Aniplan project partners, I'll welcome you to the next 2 days that will be rich in presentations and discussions that will address the significant topic of integrated energy planning and education that is important to the present and future sustainability of our planet. So our first session will be very short interventions by our esteemed guests. And I would like to respectfully ask all the speakers now and later on to use their time very efficiently and within the allocated time slots. And please, for all of us, phones on silent at least. Thank you very much. Dr. Hrajli.
Thank you, Yasser. Good morning, everyone. Fellow organizers, esteemed guests, AUB officials, and friends. On behalf of the American University of Beirut, I would like to welcome you all to this conference titled Integrated Energy and Education in Mediterranean Universities, which is the closing event for the European Union Erasmus Plus project titled Any Plan, Developing Skills in the Field of Integrated Energy Planning in Mediterranean Landscapes. I'm very pleased to see among us colleagues from Portugal, from Spain, from Italy, from Egypt and Lebanon, joining us today to add their invaluable input to this conference. The Any Plan project was conceived to address the lack of interdisciplinary approaches in higher education on energy planning and renewable energy system development in Mediterranean areas by empowering future professionals and introducing new skills and approaches that further foster collaboration between research and applied business in the field. This conference comes in continuation of AUB's efforts to lead in research, in innovation, and in advancement in the field of energy. In fact, one of the strongest points of our university is the ability to work across various departments, fusing disciplines together, which is one of the main strategic goals of this project. From the humanities to engineering to business to medical sciences, it is refreshing to see our faculty members and the graduate students working together towards generating innovative ideas and knowledge across various fields with the aim of developing holistic and comprehensive solutions to pertinent problems affecting our countries and our communities. In fact, we are lucky, I can say this today, we are lucky to have such a dynamic and enthusiastic dean like Dean Rabia Mukhtar, who has given the hand, who has been really working tirelessly and without tirelessly and sparing no effort in trying to focus or to promote interdisciplinary research or cross-disciplinary research at AUB in collaboration with all the deans. Thank you, Rabia. Water, energy, and food nexus is one of these important areas. All right. Recently, the Maroon Sim'an Faculty of Engineering and Architecture introduced a master's program that addressed complex and pressing issues in the region pertaining to energy research. Being first of its kind, the program focuses on transforming energy research to serve the needs of society in the form of policies, market choices, and services. Not to forget the recent inauguration symposium on energy, natural resources, and the environment, which was sponsored by the Munib and Angela Masri Institute of Energy and Water Resources. Cross-disciplinary studies in the field of energy will certainly advance the frontiers of knowledge in energy areas and integrate resources for higher research visibility in meeting regional needs. It is very important to note here that sustainable solutions, as you already know, stem from research. As part of its vision, AUB is moving from being a teaching-centered research institution to becoming a research-centered teaching institution by focusing more on research. The recent major step that has been undertaken for reinstating tenure at AUB, which was frozen in 1985, is exactly to achieve this objective. This is despite all the problems associated with reinstating tenure. Some of the faculties here are aware of that. Also, in the last 2 years, and in line with the university's strategic plan to promote research funding increased significantly. During the current annual year, AUB spent around $4 million on research. This is from internal funds. Also, the research funds for the University Research Board has increased from 1 million around 1 year ago to 1.6 million today, and it will be 2 million in the year 2020. This is all for the sake of transforming this university to become a research-centered institution. We are proud of the efforts of the Faculty of Agricultural and Food Sciences, of course, in collaboration with its faculty and the students, and of the rest of the faculties across AUB in trying to shape the policies in Lebanon and beyond through evidence-based research. Special appreciation goes to Dr. Yasser Abu Nasser and his team for organizing this conference. With no further ado, I wish you a great and a productive and informative conference. Welcome to AUB, and I hope you enjoy your stay on our campus. Thank you very much for coming to AUB. Thank you.
Thank you, Provost Harajli. Dean Muhtar.
Good morning. Thank you, Professor Harajli, for the support which you always have provided us at FAFSA. Your remark this morning and rescheduling the Board of Deans means a lot to all of us. So on behalf of the Faculty of Agriculture and Food Sciences, we thank you for the tremendous support that you have provided us. Thank you. Dear Yasser, this is a wonderful opportunity to gather such a distinguished group for the next couple days to learn about energy integrated planning. My comments will be very brief. I will see you tomorrow for a more extended comment. But I'd like to remind all of us the significance of this conference and the significance for this conference to be at FAFSA. Why FAFSA at this time, and why the Faculty of Agriculture and Food Sciences is the right place to start discussing integrated energy planning. We all know that we no longer live in silos. We all know that all the primary resources of water, energy, food, health, primary services are all integrated. And the impact of an energy planning on land use, we're all talking about solar energy, wind energy, even though this is the future, but we really need to be mindful that all of the energy planning for the future, renewable and none, have impact on land use, have impact on water, has impact on the environment and the ecosystem. And this is the story that I'd like to share with you, that the significance of such a conference in the region at the Faculty of Agriculture and Food Sciences that deals with natural resources management, that deals with ecosystem management, that deals with water security, with food security, is of prime importance. So the next few days, I would hope that the deliberation would go outside the energy silo and look at the impact of the energy planning on the water resources, the impact of energy planning on land use planning, because we all know that there is a competition and there are trade-offs, whether we build a solar field that will compete with agriculture, with land, with ecosystem. One of the biggest threats in this region to the agriculture is land use. And I think we all know that the biggest threat to agriculture is not the lack of water. We can manage water, but the biggest stress is land use and land use planning. And energy planning is a big element of that. So I salute you for looking at an integrated energy planning and look at a holistic system approach moving forward. We know that the energy portfolio for the 2030 is not going to be fossil fuel based. It's going to be different than fossil fuel based. The energy for the future is going to be an integrated mix where the impact on the human, I would call it the human security, because the human security involves water security. It involves food. It involves health. It involves land. It involves soil and ecosystem services. So I salute you for looking at this integrated system, and I look forward to engaging with you in the next couple of days and learn together how do we look at the sustainable energy planning for the future, because it is here, the future is here. And I welcome you to the Faculty of Agriculture and Food Sciences. I welcome you to AUB, and I thank you all for taking the time to be here. So thank you so much. Thank you, Yasser, for this wonderful opportunity.
Thank you, Dean Muhtar. Thank you for your support, continuous support. Mr. Van Weza?
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Warm thank you to all of you, especially to the very committed team of the American University of Beirut and its Faculty of Agriculture and Food Sciences, and all the partners that have participated on the program ENEAPLAN for all their work, including organizing this conference that will be hosted by the AUB in the next 2 days. A warm thank you as well to the National Office of Erasmus Plus and its coordinator, Mr. Aref Asufi, for all the support, and all the partners and participants that have been are coming to this conference, especially those who have traveled from other countries, which make very visible that this is a regional effort, and we have partners across the geography of the Mediterranean with us. Eneaplan has been one of the 15, Eneaplan together with other 15 projects complete our current Erasmus Plus portfolio, a key piece in our support to higher education and academia in Lebanon, which is an area which is not directly related to our focal sectors of cooperation with Lebanon, but it's a key piece. Higher education and academia, it's in a way included in a horizontal view in all our programs that we have in our focal sectors of work in Lebanon, be it economic growth, be it local development, be it security and governance. Erasmus Plus is an important program, continues to provide capacities to universities, promotes research, promotes a start of innovative programs like this case of Eneaplan, contributes to build up networks in the region and Europe, and we continue to be a flagship of our support across the Mediterranean, especially in Lebanon. We take the chance, because it's the first time when we can openly, publicly announce that 5 projects, which complete this basket of 16 projects, 5 new projects were approved in June, were evaluated in June, and they are in the process of being contracted and shall start soon. We value that cooperation with universities, provides us an opportunity to promote the transfer of new knowledge and techniques to students, to professionals, creates new and additional networks across the country and with other countries in the region, and contributes to modernizing the agenda of higher education in Lebanon. Eneaplan, as mentioned, is part of these projects, was specifically chosen due to the innovative learning approach that was proposing, given its also focus on the energy sector, which is one of the focal and important sectors that we have in our portfolio with Lebanon. Particularly, we are working on energy planning, renewable sources of renewable energy, and the consideration of the social and environmental impacts in the switching or the incorporation of renewable energies in the country. Energy is a key development and crucial in the country. We are all aware of those challenges faced by the energy sector in Lebanon. The most obvious one, the continuous challenges in the power sector that makes the supply of electricity reliable, making homes, businesses, public offices and industries subject to more expensive, highly polluting diesel ramp pipe generators. This is to highlight the most obvious one. We know the government has plans for reform, and we are working also with other fellow institutions, be it the World Bank, in promoting that reform agenda. It's not easy, but it's also through initiatives like not only from Eneaplan, but many of you who are working in the field that can eventually propose changes on the way the energy sector is run in the country. All of this led to support, what I mentioned, both at bilateral level, programs that target Lebanon only, but also at regional level, that supporting national authorities and crucial actors, including higher education institutions, aiming at promoting education, planning, and raising awareness on sustainable production and use of energy resources. This, for example, has been demonstrated by the experience with Eneaplan. We have other actors also that have been benefited from our programs, in which we have been happy to support their ideas and their proposals. For example, we have been working, and they are present today with us, the Lebanese Center for Energy Conservation, UNDP, and particularly the program CIDRO and its team, which have pioneered work contributing to greening energy sector in Lebanon, as well as with a large program supporting strategic environmental assessments. All this work will continue. We are now committed to start new flagship programs, one at the regional level. It's called ClimaMed. All our programs have this MED, and emphasizing the Mediterranean the Mediterranean scope, which is important, dealing with climate, with environment, with energy. We cannot talk on countries, we need to talk regional, and putting together the interest of the European Union and partner countries around the region. So this project, ClimaMed, is being prepared and will be looking at supporting transition to low carbon and climate resilient Lebanese economy at both national and local level. You can probably Google ClimaMed and you will probably start seeing all the options that this regional program will give you. And our office here in the European Union, we are just now finishing the identification, and hopefully by November we will take a decision at the level of the commissioners in Brussels to dedicate 10 million euros to support the gradual shift towards a clean energy, with a special focus on green enterprise development and increased links among green entrepreneurs, SMEs, industries, research and technology centers, academia included. This program will be, as I mentioned, decided. It's Lebanon specific. It will be decided at the level of Brussels in November, December, and we will be ready to launch it and have funds for access as of early next year. Thank you again to Eneplan and the American University of Beirut and the National Erasmus Plus Office. These joint efforts, these projects, reminds us that greening the energy sector and therefore contributing to a more sustainable future for the Lebanese people is a shared concern and responsibility for each of us. Thank you.
Dr. Soufi. Thank you, Mr. Van Wezel.
Good morning. Let me call you Eneplan family in order to save time, because I have to meet the 5 minutes limit of Yasser Abu Nasser. I will also drop, I will not repeat what Jose Luis was saying about Erasmus Plus in order to save time, but just I would add that together with its predecessors like Tempus and Erasmus Mundus, Erasmus Plus has funded tens of capacity building projects in Lebanon involving more than 25 Lebanese higher education institutions and offered more than 1,700 mobility scholarships for students and university staff from 16 Lebanese universities. Erasmus Plus has supported the project Eneplan, as you know, which was selected in 2015 to be implemented over 3 years, and the aim of introducing an innovative learning approach based on open educational resources uploaded on an e-learning platform. It targets both university students and professionals offering lifelong learning in highly important fields such as energy planning, renewable energy sources, and its environmental impacts. All this has made the project relevant to the general reform and modernization agenda of the Lebanese higher education sector. The project gains more relevance as the energy sector is expected to witness a certain expansion in the near future, we hope, with a need for a diversity of knowledge, research, and skills in the field of energy. Closing a project, like as you are doing today and tomorrow, after 3 years of implementation, should be a moment of joy and pleasure and happiness and satisfaction. Since an idea has been put into a project, activities have been planned and implemented, and objectives have been reached and achieved. For us, although we share with you this moment of joy, we keep some concern about the sustainability of the project results. After the EU fund comes to an end, a concern about the impact of these results on you as beneficiaries and on the country as a whole. So you still have the responsibility of keeping some of the project's results and elements alive and sustained. We might be asked by Brussels during the coming year to come and see you in an impact monitoring visit. Ladies and gentlemen, a new call for proposals under Erasmus Plus is going to be published next month. And the Lebanese universities will be invited to submit proposals for the different actions included in this call. And when I say different actions, you know that Erasmus Plus include many international dimension actions. And what we are concerned in Lebanon about these international actions are the capacity building project, the joint master degrees, the international credit mobility, and Jean Monnet. And I would say here that the AUB has been very active in these EU actions since a long time and has won this year a new partnership in the Jean Monnet network. And I sent a congratulation letter to the president of the AUB University just a few days ago. So please save the date, because the new call for proposal will be published next month. So save the date of 13 November when our national Info Day will take place at the Ministry of Education, Higher Education, in order to explain to you and to the university the call, and we will train potential candidates on how to design good proposals. Submitting good proposals is a challenge to all of us. At the National Erasmus Plus Office, which I represent today, at the Ministry, at the EU delegation, and at the higher education sector. We need projects which are more relevant to the country and more responsive to its real needs. So let's all together meet this challenge. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Dr. Soufi. Anna? Just our final last 2-3 minute talk from our lead partner in the project. And just to address the sustainability of the project, yesterday we had our final steering committee and we really spent a very long brainstorming session discussing how we can continue activities and how we can integrate. Dr. Anna.
Thank you. Yes, sir. I would like to manage to open my short presentation. No, it's not. Okay, thank you. I would like. Sorry? No, prima. Which presentation is expected from me? A short summary about the project or the lecture? I think the first one, the second, the summary. Okay. It was I was misled for a moment. Okay, very quick. Oh, I am. Thank you, all the audience, and thank you, Yasser, and the provost, and the dean, and the other people who spent some words for explaining the main purposes of our project. So I can skip these purposes, and you see them listed in this slide. Instead, I would like to stress to spend some words about the methodology provided by the project, which was organized with an alternation of desk activities and workshops aimed at the collective production, testing, and practical application of open educational materials, sided by thematic workshops tackling specific topics according to the peculiar expertise of each EU partner. The results of each meeting provided useful information and material to gradually develop, enrich, and customize the Eniplan CMAP integrated energy planning, adapting it to the involved teachers, students, and researchers' needs and demand. Just a few words to remind the reasons why we have been cooperating 3 years now. Through intense networking activities, we are a family, as a matter of fact. Even from a simple enumeration, I listed over 100 people involved as staff members and 90 students of partner countries in the Amman workshop enrollment, but many others afterwards by the universities involved of the partner countries and even of the European countries, participating and disseminating of the activities related to the project. I would like to spend some words about the Amman workshop, which has been a good test for our learning and teaching method, because it was the core of Eniplan's activities and an opportunity to try this didactic approach of concept maps for the characterization of the factors determining or conditioning energy planning choices. I would like to recall here, among the different purposes, what I believe perfectly fits with the challenges of the energy transition we are facing: interdisciplinarity, integrated energy planning, and profound innovation in teaching methods, collaborative concept mapping. We are witnessing an anthropological revolution requiring radical rethinking of learning methods. Due to the digital revolution, today's young people are digital natives. As a consequence, knowledge is overwhelming in some ways. We rely less and less on aggregate level analysis and on critical reviews, since we cross disciplines with greater ease and we need rapid and frequent evidence-based updates. In this, I find myself in the same mood as the speakers who were previously speaking about our common issues. The CMapping tool lends itself to provide a logical and incremental scaffolding to higher education, teaching, and learning practices, being both a flexible and creative tool. It allows for progressive, in-depth modules without losing a strong capacity for synthesis. And where we are now, obviously we are in Beirut, and we are in Beirut, but not only. I just would like to stress that the Eniplan project has initiated a working style. Most of the work lies ahead of us to fertilize learning practices, to be sustainable after the time lapse of the project, after the end of the project, within our different universities, curriculum, and to strengthen international cooperation. Our partnership is bound to capitalize on its cooperation experience through the definition of interdisciplinary contents and modules on the issues of sustainability and compliance of renewable energy sources with other values in use in the Mediterranean landscapes, notably land use and the competition for land uses. Let's have a good job in Beirut and afterwards. Thank you very much.